What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? It is your boy MM2K back again with another video. Can you do me a huge favor before we get into part 2 of our fantastic 2-part series? Trying to figure out the mind state of our homeboy Tom Warren. But before we get too deep into that, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up, because y'all know the deal. Y'all know the deal. I am not too proud to ask, and I am definitely not too proud to ask for help trying to understand my good friend Tom Warren. All right, here's the deal. So, as I alluded to earlier in part 1 of our 2-part series, Tom Warren of The Verge is known to do some bloviating. He's known to make up stuff to satisfy an ends to a means, meaning he used to do this all the time in favor of the PlayStation fan base, because that was the fan base to appease. Going now into the next generation, the 9th generation of consoles, Xbox Series X impressed a lot of people in Tom's world. So he wants to get back on their good graces in case there is a good fight between them and PlayStation, and he doesn't want to be on the losing end. So he's hedging his bets, and he's trying to appease both halves. You know what I mean? And what better way to do that than to kick the red-headed stepchild in the room, which is Stadia right now. Stadia is in early access. They had a horrific launch. You know what I'm saying? They've since made it up since then in a lot of ways, even though they're still in early access. But if you listen to Tom Warren, oh hell no, they don't do it. And if you listen to Tom Warren, it would be the worst thing to pick up. One of the indicators of that, you know, that notion from Tom, was a few weeks prior to this recording. Tom had alluded that there must be some type of mass exodus starting from Stadia, because 10,000 people, there were 10,000 less people playing Destiny 2 on Stadia than there was from the last time that he had checked. And that must have meant that people just were tired and fed up with the system, because as he alluded to in earlier post, and his publication made it seem, it just isn't worth anyone's while, right? Well, we took note of that. We took note of some of the arguments that he made there, and because a lot of it was false, we, you know, kind of noted it to Google and made them aware that we did. And in response, Tom congratulated us with a block, which is fine, which is okay, because if you got a blue check mark next to your name, that's just not to get you more clicks. That means that you have to be more responsible with the words that you say, right? But again, to go along with the narrative, and we talked about all that in our earlier segment about, you know, some of the crazy things that he's complained about, right? Like, you know, in the prior video, we spoke about how he's complaining that Google won't make Stadia available on a third-party web browser because the third-party web browser uses some of the same coding techniques as Google Chrome, Canary, and it was silly. It was stupid. Go check out that video. The link is below. Okay. But here's the most mind-boggling thing. If you look at Tom's tweets in totality about Stadia, just do Tom Warren and Stadia, you would be led to believe that Stadia is the worst thing in his mind, and that every time you mention the word you make the sound that he breaks out in a heat rash. But no, that's not true. As I noticed in one of his complaints, and I was responding to somebody that had something to say in one of his threads, I discovered that Tom actually thinks that Stadia is good. Like, he complained about what I talked about in the earlier video. Okay, follow me. He said that he was upset that Stadia wasn't available on Microsoft's Edge Chromium, right? Because it uses the Chromium language. And someone asked him, well, why are you using Stadia anyway? Like, as far as we're concerned, I can understand the mind state of this guy. This guy's making sense, you know, regardless if it's based on facts or not. Tom, you dog Stadia every time it comes across your lips. Why are you using Stadia anyway? And Tom responds, why not use it? It's good. And I said, what? And so the guy says, hold on, you aren't experiencing any issues with Stadia at all? Meaning, hold on, this is not what we've been hearing from you. We've been hearing that Stadia is this and it's that and it's all of that and it's horrible. And what's the problem? So Tom tried to clean it up, and he said, it's cloud streaming. I wouldn't rely on it every day, but it's great for when you're away from home. Okay. So then I had to follow up, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm in shock. I can't, but I had to put a placeholder in this conversation. So I respond, honestly, it depends on your network stability. I started off at 50 up, 50 down internet, and it was buttery smooth. I replaced my X with it and play it every day. Much better performance, 60 frames per second, superb when hardwired, personal example from a web browser, and I give them my link to Destiny 2, the game that Tom Warren says is burning up villages and destroying babies, just kidnapping babies because nobody's playing it anymore on Stadia. You know what I'm saying? So I put a link there. I put my money where my mouth is, right? But here's the craziest thing, and I had to respond. I had to caption this and respond this way on Twitter. I said, Tom's rhetoric can be strange and fickle at times. Now he says it's grateful when he's on the go. But he had to throw in there, but it's cloud gaming. You know what I'm saying? Like, the system doesn't perform better than consoles at 60 frames per second. I just took the opportunity to supplement the thread with facts, okay? So here's what I have to say about all that, all right? Here's the problem. This poor guy here, this is why stuff that Tom says on Twitter has to be gut checked. This poor unsuspecting guy that looks at Tom Warren's blue check mark and looks at the thousands and dozens of thousands of people that follow this guy because he's part of a major gaming publication are befuddled and confused. Perfect. Why use Stadia anyway? And he follows up with why not? It's good. But then he tries to clean it up, but it's cloud streaming or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Look, stop. I in no way, shape, or form have more resources at my disposal than the Verge, okay? I just don't. And I'm pretty sure, and look, I don't know what Tom makes. He probably has more money at his disposal than I have, okay? And if he doesn't, he has more technical bibble babble, this and that, because this is what the guy does for the Verge, right? There is no way in hell that I'm able to get what I'm getting at 50 up and 50 down at the time. And Tom has never experienced that. But he's playing Stadia on a regular basis. Like, that's bullpucky. It's good. It's cloud gaming. Like, stop it. You know the 60 frames per second are there. Yes, on the browser, maximum you're getting 1080p. But on games like Borderlands 3, some of the biggest games out there in the 12-month rolling calendar year as far as the time of this recording, you're getting 1080-60 when you're not getting that on a console. So, Tom, what are you trying to prove here? And again, that's why I labeled this the Stadia Tom Warren paradox. Like, he's all over the place with this, and this doesn't make any sense. But I'm here to tell you people that this is why it's self-evident that just because someone has a colored check next to their name and a high number, that is not their integrity score, okay? People like Tom, the stuff that comes out of his mouth has to be taken with a grain of salt. You gotta understand that Tom is in an industry where clicks and likes mean everything, okay? And Tom is now hedging his bets, like I said earlier. He is trying to make sure that he stays in the good graces of Xbox because it looks like that they might have a better fighting chance this generation with the Series X. But he doesn't want to piss off the PlayStation people in case that's not so. So who else but to kick around but Stadia? But then after we put him to task, now he realizes, oh, there might be fans of this. They know the truth, and they ain't gonna let me get away with all this bibble babble. So let me try to hedge that a little bit. But again, they're the red-headed stepchild in the game. They don't have as many numbers as the other two, so I'm not gonna be full-throated in my support. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that if you use this system every day, if it's good enough for you to use every day, then simply why can't I find one thread where you started it off being more positive than negative of Google? Like something like this. Google Stadia is good. You know what I'm saying? It has its flaws. I still prefer dedicated gaming, but it definitely has its benefits. Why can't you start off a thread like that? You know why you can't? Because that requires integrity. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And with that said, that's it from your boy MM2K. You let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because who cares what I think, like I always say. And if you did like what you heard from me, you can catch me on the corner every boulevard. Check me out with the PNTS Network. Check me out with the Broadband Bullies. Check me out with the Hard Knock Digital Culture. And check me out, as always, here on the Stadia Dosage platform. And with that said, be careful, man. Don't be fooled by them blue check marks and them high numbers. All right? There's too many ways of getting access to buddy passes. Check me out. Check out my friends at Stadia, SourceShare, Stadia, a whole bunch of us. We can get you buddy passes. Check out our streams, but do not fall for these people with these higher numbers. That just means that they got better gimmicks. And with that said, y'all all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.